Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Extra Time TV. This is Andre Soklal.
I'm Kevon Campbell.
And you may notice that we are,
all kitted up.
Yes. The big game of Italy, the Derby de Italia.
Yeah.
Inter Milan takes on Juventus this weekend. And it's no secret that I'm an Inter Milan fan. And he likes, apparently, is that Newcastle?
Bianconeri.
Yeah.
Bianconeri. Yeah.
Already, so you see the banter already started.
Yeah.
So Kevon, all jokes aside, it's a big game.
Mm-hmm.
No matter where these guys are on the table, it's always a huge fixture.
Mm-hmm.
Inter Milan started off the season a bit wobbly. Juventus looked like a team to be, to be stopped.
Mm-hmm.
So Kevon, tell me what you think about the fixture in terms of where the team stand right now.
Those colors similar to Atalanta.
No, yeah.
I mean,
The other nursery.
Yeah. But it's going to be a great game. It's the game in Italy. Like in Germany, you have the Klassiker, Dortmund, Bayern. But in Italy, it's Juventus versus Inter Milan.
Yes.
And prior to the Calciopoli scandal, it was the two teams that were never relegated.
Yep.
So that's supposed to tell you how big a scale this game is.
Yep.
The game takes place in the San Siro on Sunday, and it pits new coach Frank de Boer versus Max Allegri. Now, both teams come into the game with contrasting records.
Yeah, very contrasting.
Yep. Juventus have won all three of their opening games. I mean, I get some good teams too, like Fiorentina and Lazio. And Sassuolo, who is no easy team.
Yep.
But Inter Milan now, they have only one victory in the last three games in Serie A. And up to note, only Mauro Icardi has scored. And a good stat is that Inter Milan has only been ahead for 1 minute in every single game they've taken part in this season, including Europe.
Inter Milan, what do I say about Inter Milan?
Yeah.
Just to summarize Inter Milan, they have not started off well. We spoke about it multiple times about the disaster that is Inter Milan. Mancini getting fired, the ball coming in. I feel really sorry for the ball, and I feel really sorry for Inter Milan fans. But I think this game, no matter what form these teams are, it's always going to be close.
Yeah.
If you look at both games last season, in the end, Juventus came away in the end. But it was interesting in Coppa Italia, though.
Yeah.
Inter Milan showed what they were capable of. And what's interesting about this Inter Milan team is they have not won. They still have that goal scoring problem. De Boer is trying to implement his Dutch style of play.
Yeah.
The 4-3-3 with some variations and so on. Mancini had a bit more narrow in terms of tactics, where he had Diamond in the middle. He loved that formation. Where Juventus like to play, they are way more flexible. Juventus could spread the play out on the wings, which I think will be the undoing of Inter Milan. I think Inter Milan, how they are set up right now, are too lightweight in the middle. And I think Juventus will overpower them in the middle. I think they have the personnel to overpower Milan on the flanks. Banega is going to need a lot of protection.
Yeah.
In my analysis of the Inter Milan aspect of the game, if Banega does not have a good game and the midfield doesn't control the game, Kondogbia has been a disappointment. Where I think Mancini, when he purchased him, thought he would have been that Yaya Toure type player, because I think he really, really, really wanted Toure. He never got him. He got Kondogbia, and Kondogbia is a guy I think could be really great at some point in time, but not right now. He has been underwhelming for Inter Milan.
He's a quiet guy. He's not that natural leader that Toure would have been, or other players. He's a pretty quiet guy, so he needs guys around him to spur him on. So he's not that gritty leadership type, which Inter really needs in the middle of the park right now.
And Mancini likes those guys who drive from deep in midfield. When he was at Inter the first time around, he brought in Cambia. So we all know he's good friends with Veron, Sebastian Veron.
Naborita.
Yes, and then when eventually Veron left, Patrick Vieira. So he likes those powerful midfield players at Man City. So Toure, he made an interesting but a play in a similar characteristic with Galatasaray. Galatasaray with Melo.
Yeah, Melo.
Melo is not the most technical player, but he has that drive and personality. He's a bit of a maniac, and I think Inter Milan needs to really, really tighten up that midfield. And I don't think they have the mental toughness to dominate a side like Juventus.
Yeah.
So I could see this game being basically, unfortunately, I hate to say this, Juventus stretching them to the point where they will eventually spread that back four, which I expect a lot better from Miranda and Murillo, but they have not. Coming down to the end of last season, they started to see some inexperience of Murillo getting sent off at times. So the ball really has a lot of work to do. They've lost the Europa League game, their first Europa League game. So Inter Milan is not going into this game in great shape. Juventus, on the other hand, yes, they drew their game in the Champions League. But let's be real, Juventus look like a very well-rounded team. And I can't see any other result beside, Juventus winning.
Yeah. Well, Inter, they are at home. However, this is an angry Juventus.
Yes.
I mean, the players would be really sort of pissed off, really, at that midweek result. So coming into the game, they'll be up for it.
Yep.
I mean, Higuain, he hit the post midweek. And himself and Dybala, they want to set the record straight. And they want to get on the pitch as soon as possible. So the next on a chopping block, next in line is Inter.
Yep.
And for Juve, tactically, he's going to play that the three at the back with Barzagli, Chiellini, and Bonucci. But most interestingly, I think that he needs to start Andre Santos.
Yeah.
Sorry, Alexandro.
Sandro, yeah.
Wow, on the left. And Dani Alves on the right. Because midweek, Evra played on the left, and even though he is tactically astute, he just didn't have the legs to actually drive forward and to contribute to the attacking third. In midfield too, Marquisio is injured, and he has entrusted a lot of faith in Mario Lemina. And I think he's going to continue playing him. But Pjanic was injured before the Sevilla game. But Pjanic and Khedira, they'll be the two guys either side of Mario Lemina. And Khedira, we're talking off air.
Yeah.
And you know that Allegri likes to have a player breaking forward from midfield. Pogba did it with great effect the last 2 seasons.
Yes.
But that guy now is Sami Khedira. And in a way, he sort of taps into Khedira's natural ability to do that. Because we fans know Khedira from Real Madrid to be that holding midfielder alongside Xabi Alonso. But when he was in Stuttgart, he was that box-to-box midfielder, scoring a lot of goals. So Khedira now has more flexibility and more freedom to go forward. And we see that because Khedira scored, 2 goals already this season?
Yep.
And Khedira has more than 7 goals playing for Juve in 1 year. And in, 5 years at Real Madrid, he only scored 6.
Yep.
So we see he's capable of doing that. And we need a big game from Khedira for Juve to go forward and to show what they're capable of. And I think that will happen.
Yep. I really can't see any other outcome. I could see Inter Milan, Juventus scoring first, most likely. My key concern is how the ball sets up his back line.
Yeah.
And I hope he uses 2 defensive midfielders. But ever since the injury to Ansaldi, who I think was a very clever buy, he has injury problems. We spoke about this before. I actually think if he played, they may have had a chance because Juventus are going to try to come down the wings.
Yeah.
They are flexible where they can come through the middle. I just spoke about Khedira as well. But Dani Alves, I mean, they have so many options.
Yeah.
You don't know, whoever he comes with is going to give in Juventus width. I'm hoping De Boer is not tactically stubborn and understands that, hey, listen, this is what they're going to come with, and possibly adjust the back four to neutralize the wide play and maybe stifle in middle a little bit and try to get Icardi to nick a goal in the end because they have some pacey wing backs.
Nagatomo?
Yes, he's not the greatest guy defensively. So I think they'll definitely have to defend in numbers. I think if Inter have a chance, they need to play 3 at the back with the wing backs a bit more withdrawn.
Yeah.
Absorb that pressure that they're going to get because I really can't see them taking it to Juventus for the entire game. I actually think that's a disaster and Juventus will counter-attack with Dybala and Higuain and those guys and Khedira as well. And they will cut Inter apart because Inter, the ball wants to play out possession football. He wants to keep the ball. He wants to do the Dutch thing. They've had pretty good possession in all their games.
Yeah.
And then they get sliced apart. I saw in the Europa League game and even the game when they won over the weekend.
Yeah.
They struggled. And once again also, I think Icardi by himself is not enough for Inter Milan to get enough goals. I think too much pressure is on him.
Yeah, Gabigol needs to get in there and really link with Icardi. But Icardi is a guy who always scores against Juventus.
Yes,
so,
he has a good record against Juventus.
But you made a good point, Andre. Inter and the ball trying to play that great football in midfield. But from the Mancini era, they have a lot of terriers.
Yep.
A lot of really strong, aggressive guys. Gary Medel, Kondogbia, Felipe Melo. They aren't the most elegant of footballers at all. Especially Medel.
Yep. Especially Medel. Drax, I like to call him.
Yeah. So is going to need a different change of philosophy, and I think it's too early to judge Frank de Boer, one,
Yep.
and it's too early to put pressure on him to win on the weekend. So I hope he gets more time. I know in Italy it's pretty ruthless
Yep.
in the managerial department, but I'm hoping Frank de Boer gets more time.
Yeah, I think the ball is going to get the same treatment Mihailovic gets. I think it's very unfair because I like both coaches and both suffer the same fate. The fact that the ball is already under pressure already. Inter Milan, this is literally their fourth game, competitively, I think.
Yeah.
They already look like a team that's already under pressure. They shouldn't because they have a decent team, I mean, they have not been performing well, but if you look at the team top to bottom, it's a decent team. They should not be struggling the way they are, but we know why, and it's because of the change in management and so on. So we'll see how that turns out. But Kevon, we have an interesting surprise for the fans because in addition to us analyzing the game, Kevon and I are going to preview FIFA 17.
Yes.
And what a good way to preview FIFA 17 by playing a demo of Juventus versus Inter Milan and see how it turns out. Both of us have reasonably okay careers in FIFA, so we'll also some maybe a little in recent times.
Yeah. Haven't been so good recently.
Yeah, we'll not talk about those incidents, but what we'll do is we will take a look at FIFA 17. So in addition to previewing the game, we're actually going to play and see how it turns out.
Yeah.
And we're also going to give the fans our take, you guys our take on FIFA 17, because Kevon and I are gamers. We love the game, and we definitely want to give your take. So it's a bit of a bonus. You get in the preview of this lovely fixture. Hopefully Inter wins. We're going to play the game. So if you want to see our previous attempts, you could look at the link right here below. We played our last game in FIFA 16 a couple days ago. So we're going to put that, and we're going to play our FIFA 17, match.
Yeah.
Derby de Italia, aka the Trinidadian version.
Yeah.
And you could check it out right here in the end. So guys, Kevon, where can they find you?
You can find me at Kev868 on Twitter and Instagram. Andre?
You can find me at Andre Soglal. I almost forgot for a second there. on Twitter and Instagram.
I think it's the Juventus jersey you're making.
Yeah, I think the match pressure is starting to get to me. I'm already sweating. I wish there are certain players in Italy you can't see it now. Return. So long gone are those days.
I'm long gone are these.
Yeah, Ravanelli. Google those guys. The first person who could probably tell us who those guys are. Maybe I could be biased and give them a prize. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yes. So this great segment, remember to subscribe, to like, leave comments and suggestions. Tell us what you think. We're going to leave a poll right up here. So feel free to vote and let us know. When you interact and subscribe, you automatically qualify for the possibility, the chance to win a copy of FIFA 17 and also a possible
World
ticket.
Cup qualifying tickets to our national team play Costa Rica.
Yep. So we have lots of giveaways.
Yeah.
So Kevon, they have lots of reasons why they should like our page.
Also, don't forget to leave questions because we answer them all.
Yes. So stay tuned, guys.
Okay guys, so don't forget, if you like and subscribe our page on YouTube, Extra Time TV, you instantly qualify to win a copy of FIFA 17. So don't forget, like and subscribe.